This is the story of my third born. I have a now 5-year-old, a 2.5-year-old, and this 2-month-old, and this is her birth, which happened on a Wednesday afternoon. But this story starts the weekend prior when my eldest came down with the flu, and he really came down with the flu. And at this point in my life, I'm spending most of my days with my children, and so I spent my days taking care of my flu kid and doting and tending and trying to help him to feel better. And so, of course, as Tuesday he started to kind of turn a corner and improve and feel a little bit better, I started to tank. And I was like, oh no, I am like 2 days shy of my due date and like out to here with like a third pregnancy. And now I know it. I know this is the flu. I can feel the aches in my knees, and I feel so fatigued, way more than I should be feeling even for being due to 2 days later. And so I like go to bed, and I haven't spiked a fever, so I'm like, I'm just gonna like hold it together, fitful night's sleep. I wake up Wednesday morning, and I kind of stumble out of bed, and my husband's cheerily sipping his coffee at the kitchen table. He's like, happy birthday! And I'm like, God damn it, this is the worst birthday ever already. I don't want this. And so I'm like, all right, I've got the plan of a lifetime. I'm gonna lay on the couch all day, and my 5-year-old, who now feels fine, is gonna play with my 2.5-year-old, who's a rascal, and I'll just keep them generally alive and happy and healthy, and like they can watch some TV, and like husband will come home and it'll be fine. I'm just gonna lay on the couch all day. So he leaves, and I hear crying. And I was like, ugh. My son, 5-year-old, is crawling out of the bedroom. I can't walk. What? I'm like, hold it together. What do you mean you can't walk? He can't walk. I'm like, okay. Get my phone out. I've got some medical training. Google. Try to find some academic journals to be like, what's going on here? Staying calm. Can't even read anything, because next thing I know, more tears from the bedroom. 2.5-year-old burning up. I'm like, the tears just come. I cannot take it. My husband, through text, gets the message and comes home. And this has all happened within 1 hour of his leaving. And I kid you not, he opens that door. He's like, it's all okay. It's going to be fine. I'll take him to the doctor. I'm like, okay, thank God you're home. And then it happens. A pop and a gush. This is not good. This is not in the plan. This is just not the way this is supposed to happen. I call my midwife, and she says, oh, Nikki, your body is so wise. You may not even contract till tonight, tomorrow. Like, it's okay. Go take care of your kids. Like, it's going to be fine. You mean like the contraction I'm having right now? She's like, oh, okay. So maybe not. Cool. And sort of over the next 2 hours, my husband just snaps into like readiness and starts getting the house ready and checking off all the to-do items on the midwife's to-do list to plan to welcome our baby into our home. And I'm like, okay, we're just gonna get ready now, cool. And over the next 2 hours, he's readying the house. 2 midwives and a doula arrive, and I'm like, all right, everything's ready, except me. I was like, oh God, I have got to get my head in this game. And so I go in the bedroom and I listen to some birthing day affirmations. Thank you, hypno babies. And my midwife, my doula actually, suggests like, do you want to take a shower and try to like separate out all these things you're thinking? I was like, yeah. And I teach a little childbirth, and I know that like what gets the baby in gets the baby out, and oxytocin is a really powerful hormone. And so I actually share an intimate moment with myself in the shower, trying to get my labor going. And I get out of the shower and I go back to bed, and I'm like, I'm really exhausted. I'm gonna lay down. And apparently I was laying down for like 2 whole hours, and I felt like I'd had like maybe a handful of contractions in that time, and like a whole day's rest kind of thing going on there. And my midwife comes in and she's like, maybe it's time to get up. And I think I'm like in early labor, and I'm like the watched pot that's not boiling, and everybody's just watching and waiting. And I stand up at her recommendation, and instantly I'm in transition. I have the most earth-shattering, horrible contraction I feel like I've ever had in my entire life. Whether or not that may be true, that's what it felt like. And I am immediately off to the races with my contractions and my mouth. And I'm like, this is all your fault. You did this to me. You made me get out of that bed, and I was totally fine, and it's all your fault. And I'm like waddling as fast as I can to the shower, and it's not happening. And I go and I'm trying to get back in the bed, and that's not comfortable. And next thing I know, I like slide down onto her birth stool that she's brought, and my doula's behind me, and I'm digging my nails into her legs, and there's a midwife up here, and I'm gripping her hand like a death grip, and there's a midwife between my legs looking, waiting for this baby. And it's like the most supported, loved moment of my life. And I'm like, roaring, and next thing I know, this baby is like up here and then crowning, and I'm like, get the baby out. She's like, go for it, whenever you're ready. And I'm like, push the baby out, and they put the baby on my chest, and that's it. She's out. And they help me back up onto the bed, and I squirm back up onto the bed to get comfortable with her on my chest, and it's all over in the flash of maybe 2-3 hours of hard work on my part, but it didn't feel that hard. I felt loved. I felt safe. I was well cared for. I trusted my providers. They respected me. It was the most positive birth experience I could have ever imagined. And yet, in the end, like, I still had the flu. Thank you.